What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. Let's get right into a very entertaining episode of Friday Night SmackDown that saw the United States Championship on the line. What did you think of
Not even,
Matthew?
not even just that. We got way more than just that, man. We got two women of the four horsewomen, Charlotte and Bayley, going one on one. Was really looking forward to that. Totally kicked ass. Let's get into it. They kicked the show
Absolutely.
off hot and heavy. Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa. Nice in-ring promo, teasing that John Cena was actually having transportation issues, but they actually were trying to get across that he was scared. Okay, that's what they were trying to get across to us. He was scared of them, and he didn't want to show up to SmackDown. That wasn't actually the case. We'll get into that later on. John Cena, the way they were advertising John Cena headed to SmackDown through airplane transportation issues. We got ourselves John Cena later on tonight. We'll get to that. The way he came in, definitely in style. This promo actually segued into a match between Jimmy Uso and Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson actually interrupted a promo, causing some chaos. The match was kind of a one-sided squash match, highlighting Jimmy Uso. Didn't really do much for Carl Anderson. I think a takeaway that they wanted us to have was not only with Carl Anderson getting into the mix, especially from last Friday night on SmackDown when AJ Styles got sent away in the ambulance. It was a takeaway with Jimmy Uso continuing to act as if he is bigger than Heyman and Solo Sikoa. And plus Roman Reigns not there, the absence of Roman Reigns. I really think they're trying to build up Jimmy Uso as he is bigger than Roman Reigns. And I really like this. They head down the ramp back to Gorilla. Just before they do, actually, Mia Yim comes out looking to come to the aid of Carl Anderson, smacking Jimmy Uso right across the face, more like a bitch slap. This was definitely awesome. Jimmy Uso sold that slap. I think it was cool to see Mia Yim on TV a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely,
good,
man.
good way to open the show.
I really think that this was the right call here. Get the OC more involved. We've been kind of waiting to see what they're going to do with them as a storyline and
Mm.
tie them right in there with the bloodline. I could see them maybe carrying this to Survivor Series if it's War Games again, maybe the OC
Mm.
versus the bloodline. And
I think we already have our bloodline matchup for War Games with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, all that nonsense. I think what they want to build up is for the women. And I think what they actually did tonight, not only do we get a build up for Fastlane for the women, but maybe War Games too. Maybe they're throwing that on the drawing board too. Let's move to our next segment. Grayson Waller Effect, much anticipated wait. Bobby Lashley as his guest. Bobby basically saying he's back to the drawing board, revealing that he's no longer working with the Street Profits after a hard loss yesterday against, I think it was Santos and Rey Mysterio. It was decent. It led to Montez Ford and Dawkins coming down to the ramp, kind of all aggressive. Bobby Lashley basically saying that they better earn it if they want to be mentored by Bobby Lashley. And what we got after this was Austin Theory coming down to the ring to battle Cameron Grimes on a one-on-one matchup. Grayson Waller was, of course, ringside. Also, let's take note, I think it was Dragon Lee ringside too. Austin Theory got into a little bit of an altercation. Theory defeated Grimes clean, but I think we're going to have Theory and Dragon Lee next week on SmackDown. They advertise, but Dragon Lee is definitely a good partner to take on Austin Theory. I'm super stoked to see what they're going to do with Dragon Lee. He's very talented. I think what they have going on also with Theory and Grayson Waller is A-Town Down Under. Super stoked for that. But what I was
yeah,
stoked
dude.
for next, Rey
Yeah.
Mysterio Santos Escobar United States Championship match. Really good match. Of course, it could have been better, but I get why, they wanted to keep it a little bit shorter. I totally understand. And of course, they had a lot more coming on for SmackDown. Mysterio countering some type of press. I think it's called the Gorilla Press by
Yes.
Santos Escobar. Scores a win with a nice roll up. A little bit of a hesitation to answer Rey Mysterio's, I guess you could say, handshake, a sign of respect. It was interesting, teasing maybe dissension between them both. But post-match beatdown by the Street Profits, this is where the approval of Bobby Lashley came in, accepting the Street Profits as his proteges. So I think we're going to have Street Profits against LWO, Rey Mysterio, and Escobar.
This was great. It really was. I loved how WWE and SmackDown in particular balances their segments from backstage to promos to in-ring action. It just flows so great. And
Mm.
I'm very excited to see this match potentially at FastLane and good win for Rey Mysterio defending that United States Championship with what do we call those? The vicious roll-ups.
I guess you can call it that if you would like. Our next segment was a matchup. Bayley versus Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, of course, on Bayley's side. This was interesting. All right, very interesting. The match, although it was a highly anticipated matchup between Bayley and Charlotte Flair, of course, match was decent at best. It was decent at best. It wasn't anything crazy. Charlotte Flair got a win with a spear. I'm sorry. I keep thinking sphere, but it's a spear. Good call. Good call. Asuka coming down afterwards actually to even the odds with Bayley and Io Sky trying to beat down on Charlotte Flair. Asuka kind of coming to the aid before anything crazy could happen. Kind of confusing, but I get why they did it. I like how they're keeping Asuka kind of in this story. Keep it fresh, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Keeping all those women around the main event scene, trying to all go after that championship. And who knows? Maybe we'll even see Bayley eventually turn on Io Sky to try and get that championship off of her.
Now, what do we know? John Cena returning.
Big match,
Well,
John.
not
Here
returning. I guess you could say John Cena making his presence known, coming from wherever he was, landing to wherever SmackDown was tonight. I can't even remember. Coming in a nice hot Mustang, 2024 Dark Horse, I think it was. Cool, man. John Cena, the crowd was going crazy for him. He comes out basically saying he doesn't have a partner, but what he wears against his heart, that never give up symbol, that's what he lives by. And if he has to take Solo and Jimmy on alone at Fastlane, he will. Jimmy and Solo come down. They beat the hell out of John Cena, throw him over the announcer's table before Solo Sikoa could hit a frog splash onto Cena from the top apron through the announcer's table. LA Knight comes out.
Yeah.
Totally expected that. Was hoping it would have happened because I was hearing LA Knight was going to be on SmackDown despite having COVID last week. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Picks up the contract, signs it. John Cena has himself a tag team partner at Fastlane. They demolish both Jimmy and Solo. That's a great way to end SmackDown, something we all wanted to see. And coming hot and heavy, Fastlane is just a week away.
Big match, John and LA Knight. Probably the main event of Fastlane. Who could have seen that coming? I love it. I absolutely do. Excellent way to cap off the show, man. Got the crowd on their feet, ready to go. And we are going to see LA Knight and John Cena tag team up against 2/3 of the Bloodline there. So I'm here for it.
I like it. I love it.
Absolutely. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. Always like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you Tuesday with a Monday Night Raw recap. Until then, peace out. This has been KozMatt. Thanks for watching.